Hello, friends. Today's topic is the lack of empathy. Let's rant.
I really don't understand how people can emphasize a lack of empathy as if a lack of empathy is how the world is going to change. Just saw a stitch from someone that I blocked immediately because I thought at first I could ignore it, and then I realized I should take their advice and just block them. Essentially, it's a black guy and a white girl making candy, and the black guy is like, after you fuck a female, there ain't nothing about her, that's why, and y'all act like y'all don't want that too, with no self-awareness that if after you fuck a man you're not worth anything, it makes sense to play hard to get because you can only get something when you're worth something. And this is what the patriarchy says. This is not what a normal human being thinks. Any man who asks about body count, or any man who's like, I don't want you after I fuck you, that's a parasite. That's a full-on, I don't like myself, I need to bring you down to my level, and then I need to make fun of you for coming down to my level, and then I need to go find someone else to do it again in order to not think about the fact that I can never rise to a better level. He's saying this to the white girl, and the very first thing out of this older black woman's mouth is, I don't feel sorry for her, that's her fault. What do you get out of saying that? And then what makes it weird is like, I've been happily married for 27 years. It's like, oh, so you were a well-picked woman, and your immediate reaction is, if a woman ends up in a situation where a man doesn't respect her, it's her fault. And a lot of people are like, that's not what she said, but she tolerating it. So you are saying that this full-size piece of shit is her fault to deal with. And because she didn't deny him pussy, because she stood around him, his behavior is now a reflection of her. And I know people are going to be like, you were just talking about comprehension, you were just talking about things. If I see a woman in a bad situation, I know women in bad situations, no matter how annoying and distasteful they are, I will never not feel bad for them. Some of you have a lack of empathy, and you think that lack of empathy is wisdom, and it's concerning. I don't know what to tell you. You could say that couples like that are disgusting. You could say that couples like that don't make no fucking sense. But you're not going to convince me to hate the woman in the situation, because regardless if she's encouraging it or if she is being abused by it, she's still not safe. My empathy doesn't turn off for jackasses. My empathy doesn't turn off for even, dare I say, Nazis. Because at the end of the day, as much as I don't like what you do, and as much as I will make sure the people who you harm protected first, there's no benefit to seeing you not exist. There's no benefit to seeing you harm. I can't wait for a particular individual who's going to be at a very high office of power to kick it, just completely not exist anymore. I'm not going to go out of my way to encourage it to happen faster. And the fact that it was a older black woman saying this, I don't feel sorry for her, I don't feel sorry. It's almost like, in a weird way, it was almost like a reaction thanks to the patriarchy. Like, oh, a boy's acting out of line? Well, don't feel sorry for the bitch who did it. This should be about him. This should be about warning other people to not deal with him. And instead, you still found a way to drag down the woman who was just there. Wisdom and empathy are required. If you don't have one, you don't have the other. And it's a little bit scary that didn't register when she or anyone else commenting said that.
Bad people don't actually use their brain to assess situations. They only really know how to mirror or parrot your energy back. For example, one time I was driving on the road and there's only one lane, and the person in front of me was going 15 miles below the speed limit, which is illegal. So I'm honking at this person to speed up, and mind you, this is like a 20-minute road, okay? This person is not speeding up. So I turn on my high beams to signal to them to speed up. Now, that person only cared that I used my high beams at them. And then they might start parroting me or mirroring me by harassing me and high beaming me, and following me around and high beaming me. Now, driving 15 miles below the speed limit is illegal. Using your high beams or honking at somebody to signal to them that they are doing something illegal and that they should speed up is legal. What I did was legal, what they did was illegal. But a bad person can't use their brain. all they can say is, oh, you high beamed me, I'm gonna high beam you back. Another example of this is that one time this guy, like I met this guy at the strip club, and then he started like following me around, you know, like I started seeing him stalking me while I was driving. So I take out my phone and I took a photo of him, you know, because he's stalking me, right? If you're stalking somebody and they take a photo of you, like, that's normal. But this guy, he took offense to the fact that I took a photo of him, and he began to film me and take photos of me. And it's like, motherfucker, you're not mirroring me, you know? But bad people don't use their brains. Like, they're not able to be like, this is the context of the situation. All they can do is parrot back. You know, like a parrot can mimic what humans are saying, but it's not like the really understanding and having like the same thoughts as humans do. They only know how to mirror and parrot. They don't know how to like use their brain and be like, hey, driving 15 miles below is illegal, and high beaming somebody to get them to speed up is not illegal. However, randomly high beaming somebody just because you were mad that they reacted to you doing something illegal is dumb as fuck.
So I've been thinking about this for a while, and I'm gonna just get it off my chest. It's gonna be a little harsh of a take, but fuck it. I feel like being a black woman has kind of made me lack empathy. Like, and I'm not working on it. Just FYI. It's like whenever things come up, like certain topics or situations happen, people are always like, could you imagine? Let's sit with that for a minute. As a black woman, could I imagine? Yikes. So there goes the lack of empathy for black people and black women specifically again, right? Because imagine asking me, could I imagine? When actually I don't have to fucking imagine anything. So it's like, I don't know. I don't be feeling it for the people. And again, I'm not working on it. Everybody else needs to work on their shit. Because when you become the stomping ground for so much shit, and like you have had empathy, or you have tried, you've extended 1,000 fucking olive branches, you've worked for groups, you've supported people who will literally stomp on your fucking head, and do everything in the world for you not to have shit. It is very hard for me to give a fuck about any and all things that could possibly happen to you, as I have simultaneously, consecutively, and concurrently lived through them all. So, good day.
It's really an evil world we live in, y'all. And I feel like as days go by, it's getting more evil and sick and twisted. Like, I just told you guys about me being assaulted by 2 men the other night. And it's crazy how one of the women that's in a relationship with the guy that assaulted me slid in my DMs laughing at the situation, laughing at me being death gripped, laughing at one of the men putting their hands on me and doing what they did to me. Like, that shit is not a joke. Like, I would never laugh at the next woman in pain. I would never laugh at a woman being physically or emotionally or mentally abused by no man. Like, that is some weak bitch behavior. Like, this shit is so sick. But yeah, at this point, I'm about to change my number because now I'm being harassed left and right. And it's just, this shit is just too much. Like, yeah, send love and light before I stage and fight.
The number one thing that people don't realize about narcissists is their lack of empathy also extends to themselves. They cannot empathize with their future self, and they can't empathize with their past self. So for all the people who are like, I was paying for the narcissist's life, they had it great with me, I was doing all the chores, I was serving them every single day, why would they want to give it up? Well, because they're impulsive people. They don't think about the long-term repercussions of their actions. In a narcissist's mind, it's like future me will deal with that. They don't empathize with that future person, just like they don't empathize with their victims. At the same time, they can't really look back in their past and access those feelings that they felt. So if you say, hey, remember a year ago when you did that horrible thing that made me cry and you were crying too? They'll remember it logically, but they can't put themselves back in the moment because they can't empathize with that past self. So you will immediately start to see them rewriting history, gaslighting you, telling you that that didn't happen or it wasn't that bad, and they just keep repeating the same toxic behaviors over and over again. This is why you get a cycle of abuse with them, because they're not learning from their past actions and they don't care how it impacts them in the future either. They will just scream at their boss even though they really need the money. They will not pay people back and burn their bridges. They will cause a huge fight with you in front of your family, not thinking that this is their in-laws. People with empathy cannot possibly fathom how destructive it is to have a complete lack of empathy for everybody around you and yourself. And while narcissists have to be the best, the most successful, the smartest, they also can't empathize with themselves and actually hate themselves on the inside. So you get this weird paradox of them trying to get all the praise and admiration from you while at the same time resenting you for doing nice things for them. And then they do not trust your kind gestures because they see them as a trick, a manipulation. The lack of empathy gives them a very get them before they get me type of mentality. This is not something that you can love them out of. This is all the more reason to try to get out of there and go no contact. And if you need one-on-one narcissistic abuse recovery coaching to come up with an escape plan, you can email me. My email's in my bio.
Sometimes people are having a bad day, and it could be other things too, so just keep that in mind. What do you think about this topic? Comment down below, and thank you for watching until next time.